Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, hello, wherever you are. It is Tuesday. My hair is a mess. That's because I've had the hood on my hoodie up. Checked my beard, didn't check my hair. Hello. So, a Tuesday live stream. Thank you, Sarcastic Monkey, for being able to see and hear and letting me know that you can see and hear. So, hey, Joe. Usual format for tonight. Well, no, it's not the usual format tonight because I'm going to ramble like I've never rambled before. Because there is no one ramble topic as such, but we've just come back. I think just come back 48 hours ago, something like that. Just come back from our first AOS narrative event, the Crimson Conflux, which we'll ramble about for a little bit. That was a new what that happened. That was a thing. Ramble a little bit about hobby. What's the vernacular? Shizzle? Is that the vernacular? I don't know. And anything else, really? We're in major limbo mode at the moment with 10th Ed 40k, with all sorts of preview snippets coming thick and fast from GW. Yeah. So I said this is going to be a ramble like no ramble before, which I'm going to go on record to say it's not necessarily going to be a good thing. So relatively straightforward stuff first. Well, hobby wise, what have I been working on? Well, it's mostly been stuff for the Crimson Conflux. We'll come to that shortly. Did a bit. Okay. Do I share that information? Okay. Crimson's just shown me a piece of paper saying I'm seeing how long I can be quiet for. And then I couldn't say it. Okay. Yes. So Crimson's seeing how long she can be quiet for. I mean, I'm going to come to her at some point and ask her about the Crimson Conflux. So okay. So that means you're not telling me stuff that I need to know from the chat. So I'm going to go to read the chat. You are going to tell me stuff from the chat. You're going to need more paper. No, okay. So hobby stuff I've been doing. Done a few bits for Star Wars Legion. I've got filming the first Star Wars Legion bat rep this coming Friday. I don't know when it'll actually get onto the channel, but so yeah, I've been that bank holiday. Yes, what did I attempt to do? I was trying to paint an Imperial Ossifer and what are they called? A Dewclaw Rider. No, it's not a Dewclaw. Hang on, it's got a name. I'll have to look it up. Bear with. Due back, rider. I was a bit unsure about what to do with those, because in the lore they are only, there's a thing that says, oh yes, and what the Empire often do is use local animals rather than converting vehicles. I thought, yeah, no, that's fair enough. Dewback, native only to Tatooine. Oh, right, okay, so that's a narrative dead end. But I have decided that simply to choose to believe they are desert dwellers and therefore could be on any desert-style planet is enough. So I painted one of those, two of those. They've got nice weapon options. One's got a big Decker gun, the other one's got a flamethrower. There are some other options, but they could be anything. So when I finish painting those, they're nearly done. Just I've got like 2 coats left to do on the base, and then flocking. Hello, Lemmy Cat. So that's the bit of hobby. There's a bit of no, whatever that was has gone. Yeah, looking forward to 10th Ed. Everything I have read, the majority of things I have read on the GW community page lead me to be optimistic for 10th edition. I think the real proof of the pudding will be in the what the indexes are like, because the because the 9th Ed rules didn't look that balmy. There were a few things that needed leaving out. It was just what they then did with all the codices that really screwed the pooch on it. So I am reserving judgment until some of the indices come out, so we can go, oh. Those are the only 2 possible noises I will make as a response to reading one of them. So yeah, there's some optimism for 10th edition. We listening to the next of the Gottfried books in the Realm Slayer / other things slaying this books. Blight Slayer, about halfway through that at the moment. It's looking promising, quite interesting where it is so far. It's about to get really rather violent, so looking forward to listening to a bit more of that. So Crimson, and you might do this in sign language or eyebrow wiggles, and I'm not quite sure why you're mute tonight, but other than Crimson Conflux stuff, how's your hobby week been? What have you been up to? Or has it all been Crimson Conflux stuff? I can come back to you later if you want to remain mute.
It's all been Crimson Conflux stuff, and so that was, thank you, Mike. That's a really nice thing to say, by the way. I was just typing back to you, but I'll just tell you now. So thank you for that. Yeah, it was all that. It does take, although it's not hard, it's just you have to kind of coordinate everything. So that's what I was doing, and then checking that everything was at the right time and all of that stuff. So I've been basically doing that, and then I'll talk more about it in a bit. But I've picked up Crimson. No, I've not. I've picked up Paul Fest for Mick. So I've picked that up. So, but I'll have a chat to you about that in a bit. I've lost my chat bar. Does anybody know where my chat bar's gone? Gone? It's just gone.
Ooh.
My chat bar's gone. How'd you get your chat bar back, people?
Try clicking on that.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Try click on that.
No, you're totally gone now.
Well, that one. No, default view.
Yes, there we go. Thank you.
So yes, the main thing has been the Crimson Conflux. So there was time spent writing, and I'll kind of talk you through a little bit what it was and how we did it. I won't mention the sort of. I'll let Crimson tell you about a lot of the stuff, but I'll just talk a little bit about the narrative that we did. Okay, so with it being the first AOS event we were going to do, and not knowing what kind of numbers we would get, it's very difficult to do a faction-oriented campaign. The Crimson Ribbon, which was our first campaign that we did for 40k, that was easier to do because the player base is larger. We said Imperium versus Chaos, and that worked very well. Whereas in AOS, with numbers being much smaller, it was always going to be much more diverse across different factions. So it was going to be more difficult to get a large enough core in multiple factions to be able to play out a faction specific story. So the first thing that was necessary when writing the plot was to come up with a reason why allies might be fighting each other, why you might have various elements of the Grand Alliance of Order actually fighting each other. And I sort of came up with the notion that they've got a bit balmy, got a bit mad. And okay, so their emotions are being manipulated was kind of where I went with that. And then after throwing a few ideas around and letting my subconscious work on it for a while, came up with the notion of a sub-realm where emotions are all screwy. And then I sort of thought, well, actually, what about if it was like one of the mortal realms that just didn't develop properly and was stuck like in its formation stage, and some mysterious portals opened up to go there, and people went there. I thought, okay, what can I do to play around with this? And I decided that a good idea would be Realmstone. So we had Realmstone of different colours represented by different glass beads, and each different piece of Realmstone related to a different emotion. And any unit that was within 6 inches of a piece of Realmstone were subject to its effects. So I'm like, right, okay, these are all the good narrative reasons why these people who would normally be allies are going after each other. And even to the extent, looking at Seraphon and Stormcast, that with their judgment clouded, the Seraphon could easily believe that the Stormcast were out for their own ends. The Stormcast could believe that the Seraphon had sort of degenerated into a sort of bestial kind of state. It's like, yeah, okay, it doesn't matter which two end up going together. There's reasons for these armies to go at each other. So that was the first and main issue resolved. Then it was all about just fleshing it all out and filling it all in. It was the main crux of the event was basically like a realm stone hunt, where we had as I mentioned before, different coloured realm stones having different effects. So red realm stone was anger, and if you were within range of the realm stone, if in the charge phase, if you were within 12 inches of an enemy unit, you had to declare a charge on it, even if it took you off the objective that you were holding. Yellow realm stone was fear, so it gave you -2 bravery. And all these are cumulative. So if you were under the effect of 2 yellow realm stones, then you'd be -4 bravery. Green realm stones were jealousy, and every unit within 6 inches of a green realm stone took D3 mortal wounds in the battle shock phase, unless there was only one model within range. Because they're all sort of clawing at each other, trying to get the realm stone, or other sort of fabricated fantasies that the realm stone has put in their minds. Black realm stone was despair, where people just sit down and just not bother fighting, -2 save. And we had one scenario where the we had one scenario where the realm stone weren't just objectives. Well, they started as objectives on the board, but units could pick them up. And so the idea was to try and collect them. And it was the only way you could have them was to collect them. So you had units with multiple realm stones carrying them around. So you might have, I don't know if this specifically happened, but you could conceivably have a combination of jealousy and fear, where you do mortal wounds to yourself because of the effects of the green realm stone, but then your bravery drops so low, half the rest of the unit runs off. Bedlam, chaos, and bedlam was the desired effect. Yeah, from a story point of view, then there was also an element of then trying to find elements of the civilization that had existed there before, and doing some extreme archaeology, trying to recover artifacts. Then the realm started to react to the presence of sentient emotions and started to crumble and fall apart, and they all legged it. And that was basically the plot and the gist. So there was no one single goal for any individual faction. There was no sort of winning as such. We had a bit of a around the table at the end and looked at who'd scooped up the most realm stone, who'd run off with the most artifacts. It was good. It seemed to have the desired effect. Big Bad Peter Gaming member for 15 months. Hi Paul and Crimson, are you looking forward to 10th? Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what I'm hoping to see is a game that is balanced by the points cost of units rather than by the stats that units have. Or at least a game that is closer to that than 9th, because it's so far away from that in 9th that I have a lot of difficulty playing it. And what I've seen so far on the community page seems realistic. Seems to suggest that it will.
The rhinestone effects were awesome. It was really weird to watch. Yes, I am looking forward to it, by the way. Sorry, I am looking forward to 10th. Just hoping it's not going to cost a lot of money. But yeah, I am looking forward to it because someone, as this finger doesn't seem to stop working, and it, or a thumb, and it just tots it all up. But yeah, I am looking forward to 10th. And I was just going to say at the event, it was really, really funny because they had to come and collect rhinestones. Realm stones, and they were really shiny. They had to come and collect realm stones off the front table. So you got all these like gaming men, gaming blokes running around with these like coloured gems in their hand going, oh look, what's this one? It was quite funny to watch. Yeah, so they did go.
What was quite funny because what we did was we kept what the realmstone did secret until they found a piece of it. So they had to come up, say we found a piece of red realmstone or whatever, pick up the stone, little glass beads, and then pick up a little card with the rules for it on. And sometimes someone come and pick up a card and go, and sometimes they go, what? Really quite amusing.
Oh, that's it now then. That's it. That was another one.
Yeah. We had, a Big Bad Peter Gaming has gifted a membership. Thank you, Big Bad Peter.
Kind. Oh, and Christian's taking it.
Yeah, Christian McBride. That lets you in our Discord if you're not there already. There's a link in the community tab if you want to join our Discord server. Yeah, there were a few.
I remember Christian from Crimson Ribbon. Oh, Paul Fest. I can't remember which.
Immortan Joe used his 31-month membership to comment. The Realmstone does what? Bum.
That was not what was said.
No, it was not.
Kind of, just not. Yeah, kind of.
There were a few standouts with what the Realmstone actually did, but one that was not a side of not something I had intended at all. But the pack of 30 ghouls ended up with 2 black Realmstone, which meant that everyone within 6 inches of the unit was at -4 save. So they had no save either, but they didn't have a save to start with. But they ran up to this massive unit of armored Dwarden who just sat there and went, "Oh, what's the use?" It's like, "Oh, I've shamed my ancestors. Just kill me," or possibly even stab themselves.
I think I was just alarmed that there were that many ghouls. They were in a bag. They weren't even. They were in a bag.
I mean, Joe.
They were in a food bag.
Joe is infamous for his ghouls. There was one game against Seraphon where it was turn 4 and Matt P said something to the effect of, "I've killed 200 ghouls, but there are still more on the table than when I started." Great days. We've had a super chat from Blue Demon Brushworks. Are you looking forward to Paulfest, the casual narrative-oriented 40k/AOS gaming event in Belper, Derbyshire on the 16th of September this year? £20. Details available on Paul's Discord. Yeah, well, I certainly am.
Thank you. We
are.
are.
Are you looking forward to it, Crimson?
I am very much, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that a good segue into Paulfest?
Yes, it could be. Hello, Pixel Reaper, by the way. Because I won't be able to type and talk at the same time. So, yes. So, unfortunately, fortunately, one or the other, at the weekend, Mick, who was arranging, who always arranges, it was his idea back in the day, Paulfest, and he was doing this particular one, aided by Second Born as well. And I've just seen your your comment in, I've replied actually your comment in Discord. Why is it going to be the best one ever? So yeah, so Mick's decided to take a step back. He's got quite a lot of things going on, and he is he's taking a step back away from everything. So if you've noticed, he's gone from Discord and he's just having a little bit of time with his family and himself just to
needs a break.
He needs a break. He needs a holiday. Everybody needs a holiday. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong as such. It's not, there's nothing sort of bad happening. It's just that him and his brain need a bit of them time. So that's what we've arranged. So I've taken over the Paul Fest, and obviously spoke to Mick about it, taken over the Paul Fest, and spoke to Second Born today. And between us, and also Immortan Joe, I hope you've not forgot you offered. We finished. So between us, it's all about him, isn't it? Yeah. All about you. So between us, we're going to pull something together. So I'm going to be we've taken off. I've asked Ed to take off the advertisement that was up there because anybody could buy a ticket, and I want to try and make it as much as possible just our little community. I mean, we can open it up, and if anybody's got some friends or sons, daughters, anybody that wants to come, then obviously, bring them along. But predominantly, we want to try and keep it for community members. So I've taken over the sales of those. So I've put some details into the Paul Fest on Discord, and I'm managing the ticket sales. And we've had some ticket sales today, and I've sent. I hope you've got them, by the way, because I've never sent them from PayPal before. But I've sent some receipts of saying thank you for those. So I'm doing the numbers and finding out whether you're playing 40k or AOS. And we've got a spreadsheet. Very, very organised. I'm terrible. I am absolutely terrible. Second Born, I wish he'd never said he'd do it with me. It's just... So I've got a spreadsheet and I've written everything on it, and I'm going to get it over to him. And Second Born and Joe, but obviously I've not been able to speak to you, Joe, so sorry. But you did say you'd help. Between you and Second Born are hopefully going to arrange how many points people are playing and get the games ready to go. And I know Second Born is, just so you don't get there and you've not got anybody to play with, they're going to try and match everybody up, which is their forte, it's not mine. So they're going to do that. And also Second Born is doing something quite exciting with the Tale of Paul's Gamers. Is that right?
Paul Gamers.
Paul Gamers. The Tale of Paul Gamers. If I've got that right, but you all know what I mean. So yeah, he's going to do something special with that. So between us, it's going to be fantastic. So we're just in negotiations. I'm in negotiations with Ed just about the room. Ed says we can have the room. It's not a problem. We can have all of the room if we want. So between us, we're going to come up with some sort of a plan. So it is going to go ahead. I know, Sarcastic Monkey, we were a little bit worried about you. We were like, we've got to make a decision because you were going to fly over and stuff. And that were really important to us. And hopefully we might have a mystery guest again, as well as Paul. That is another mystery guest. But yeah, so just wanted to let you know about that. All the questions are in all the information is in Discord under Paul Fest, and you'll notice that the advert's been taken down because that meant anybody could buy a ticket. And yeah, so that's about it, really. Any questions come through to me, I've put the Crimson Events email in there, and I'm pretty much on that all the time. So I will be able to answer you. It is £20 a ticket, and it's If there's any change to that, I'll let you know. It won't go up. It's £20 a ticket. And for those people that have not got a receipt and they've already paid, can you email me or DM me in Discord, whichever you want to do, and I'll try and sort that out for you. I know about you, Kev, by the way. So I'm on it, but there's quite a lot of stuff to just wade through, because obviously it's got bigger and bigger and bigger, and now I've put it on there and I've had loads of people wanting tickets, which is fantastic. If you want a ticket, but it's not payday, the usual story, I'm like that myself. If it's not payday, then just drop me a quick DM and I will make sure that I put you on the list, but obviously put that you'll pay as and when you can. And all payment is through PayPal.
So, are you ready for a question? Because now I've got the questions.
I'm ready for a question.
Okay, so Scott Hilditch says, do I paint and play a new army at this year's Paulfest using his 30-month member chat?
Well, I would say it's up to you, but yes, that would be great. It depends if you can get it done on time. If you can get it done on time, I think it's always nice to paint something special for something.
I find I get motivated with a goal.
Yeah, and you will make sure that you've painted them by then, obviously. But there were some guys at Crimson Conflux that had painted an army for that, and it was just really nice.
I really want to point the camera at you. You're doing all the talking.
No, it's fine.
I can see you, but no one else can.
Properly.
She's dressed.
And so, but to watch them play the new armies as well, it made it quite special. So I would suggest, yeah, if you can get it done, but don't put yourself under too much pressure to do it. Yeah, because we don't want anybody being ill.
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay, now Matt P has used his member for 31 months
Love
chat
you, Matt.
to say Crimson Conflux was absolutely incredible.
Aww.
Amazing work, Paul and Crimson, and well done to everyone. Still can't believe there were so many ghouls.
So many ghouls came in a carrier bag. Many ghouls. It was
Joe's famous bag of ghouls.
Yeah, Joe's famous bag of ghouls. It was really good. And I think I was talking about this earlier on, Matt P, that we were raffling off. Everybody had got free raffle tickets in their packs. And we were raffling off. So we were raffling off because I can't remember.
It was a Warcry box.
Warcry box, this big Warcry box. And everybody had been looking at it all day and going, oh, that's really nice. That's really nice. Anyway, cut a long story short, Matt P won it. He put it on the table. He looked at it. He gave a big sigh and said, she'll never believe I've not bought this.
She'll never believe I won this.
I've won it. I've not bought it. So we're like, I can write you a note. But yeah. So you won it, Matt P. But thank you for that. That's kind. It just takes a little while to organise, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
But Paulfest will be different because it's a lot more relaxed, isn't it? So.
Right, I can see we've had a super chat. We've got a couple of questions just on Paulfest because I can see the super chat's going to go a different direction.
No worries.
So, in response to we may have a mystery guest.
Yes.
You've got people speculating now.
Yeah.
The man Moog from Blue Demon Brushworks asks, "Is it Peachy?"
No.
And Immortan Joe asks, "Mystery guest, can we make a request? Is Mila Djokovic free?"
No.
No, you can't make requests.
No,
she's
I've
not
already
free.
asked.
Oh, right, okay. And then
she said, "Is Joe going?" I said, "Quite likely." She said, "No." Then.
Oh, fair play. Fair. Yeah. Before Joe shouts out to Mark James at the Crimson Conflux. First AOS army and did a cracking job. Looked amazing.
It so did. And that's what I mean when they painted the new ones for it. It was so fantastic.
Wonderful Carandron army. I think
my God. And Mark James
came up on the Friday night. His first game with the army was a practice on Friday night at Sanctuary. Then not just first game with the army, first game with AOS. So yeah, legend.
What a nice man. To be honest, most of the people that were there, most of the gaming guys that were there have sort of met and they've been over here and they've had food and what have you. And I've known them all quite well, but Mark were new to me, and he's such a lovely guy. Yeah. And if you are, I don't know whether you are on, Mark, I am going to text you later just to say a massive thank you. There were tears earlier on when the doorbell went, so thank you very much. And I'll text you later.
I opened the door on my foot. It really hurt.
Thank you. But no, I'm not telling you it's coming. Secret. You don't even know.
And then Matt P, was news to me when you said it a moment ago. Matt P, she believed me the raffle tickets were great evidence.
Did she? Oh, did you? I knew. I was going to write you a note. Dear Mrs. Matt P, he really did win this.
So, Big Bad Peter Gaming has super chatted. Will either of you start a new army for 10th? If so, which army and why? So I can answer for myself first. New army. I guess it depends how you define new. Maybe. It all depends on how I'm doing with my AOS painting schedule, because there's a lot of AOS to paint. One thing I have decided to do, though, is not to treat all my 40k armies as playable armies just yet, because I think it's better if I pick a couple and focus on those for learning and playing and a bit of familiarity and so on, so I don't have to relearn the rules each time. And I'll also, if I get any hobby time, be able to do some work on those. My thoughts do keep changing to an extent, but Orcs will definitely play a part. So will Night Lords. Not quite sure what others might be yet. How about yourself? Are you... Because we're talking 40k here rather than AOS.
Yeah, well, my Demonettes were 40k back in the day, weren't they? I know I've played them AOS, but they were...
Slanesh Demons do play?
I don't know whether it's anything new, but I am really looking forward to painting more of those, because I do need to paint some more of those, because when I summon them back, there's not enough. There's not enough.
You need units
so I'm looking forward to that, and I'm looking forward to painting more of the elaborate stuff, with the wings. What's the one called that I've got that I've not put together yet? She's got big red wings. I can't remember what it's called. But just something a little bit more elaborate. I really like the horse stuff, the armies that are on horses, and I like all of that kind of stuff.
Oh, you mean Marathi?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, yeah, that's the one. The one. Have we got that one now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that I'm looking forward to painting that and doing that. Yeah. So yeah, I am. I'm just looking forward to painting more Demonettes.
They're different armies, of course.
Yeah, I know they are. Yeah. So yes, that's me. And I would like to paint. I would like it if there was an army just horses. Just horses.
No riders.
No people. Just horses.
Just an army of horses.
Yeah, fine.
The closest you're going to get is Kragnos, I think.
I love it. And with the wings and beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. More of what I know and a bit of what I don't know.
No, good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we've segued around quite a bit. I've sort of talked about the Crimson Conflux from my perspective, from writing the story and why I chose certain things and what some of the ideas were. But the organising was all you. All I did was write the battle plans, print them out, and turn up with them. What are your reflections or just thoughts? Talk to us about the Crimson Conflux for a bit from your perspective.
Oh gosh, from my perspective, well, I just events are my background. I love events. We talk about this all the time. Events would be, if I could have a business, it would be on events, I think. I like all that, everybody having fun and enjoying it. But I think for me, it was just getting everything to click together right from how many people were coming, who were coming, have they got any gluten intolerance? Because obviously tickets this year were including food, which did work well.
Legend. Sorted food out for everyone for 2 days.
Food, yeah. And then along with the agenda. So the food had to be there when it was lunchtime, regardless of anything else. So yeah. So I just, it's like everything. It's a bit like, you guys are a bit like herding cats in the nicest possible way. Feel like I need to get me
crazy
on.
cats.
Yeah. And so sometimes people are very last minute, which I totally understand, but from an event coordination, it's a bit touch and go. But then I did everybody lanyards, and everybody had their own Crimson Conflux folders, and just a bag full of merch and pens,
stationery and stuff.
All stuff that everybody were using as well. Which I thought, am I wasting my time? But no, everybody had got it all out and everything. So yeah, just the coordination of it all and making sure I spelled everybody's names right, which I didn't. Oh, and I did the quirky ID badges with the armies on, as much as I could what they were playing.
So we got a bunch of old. Well, this is the only contribution I made. Was I acquired the old War Scroll cards. You converted them, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I converted them. I cut a hole out and I put names in, and it were quite nice because it was was the armies they were playing, so which were quite cool. So it were just little things like that when you're going to an event and you're paying X amount of money, you want to know that you've had a nice couple of days. So hopefully everybody did. Some great comments. So I think it went well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Just while we're on about that, I'm going to try and arrange something for Christmas. Obviously not at Christmas, but just before Christmas. So if anybody's got any ideas about what they want to see, or what they want to do, or I'm sure we can plan something around that, whether it's a day trip to Warhammer World with some lunch or whatever it is. But it'd just be nice to do something at Christmas if everybody wants to, that is. So send me your ideas. Yeah.
Jolly good.
Then I went and laid in the dark room on Sunday night.
I haven't left my dark room.
People are very last minute. Sounds like a family reunion. Do you know what it was? It was so lovely to see everybody arrive and everybody sort of talking and chatting and laughing. It was a bit like a family reunion, in all fairness. I think I've come to the conclusion that our Discord's fabulous. Our community's fabulous. Yeah. So
to be fair,
it was fantastic.
You're not wrong.
It is. No, it is. Seriously, it is so lovely. And everybody's so nice. So yes.
Okay. So should we jump to Discord?
Let's do it. We've got a couple of questions from last week, I think. One of them I'm going to leave and read out when that person comes back. So did we do the sarcastic monkey? What is more likely to drive Glimmer insane? Writing a Primaris update to the code. Did we do that one?
We did.
Right. Okay. And then so sarcastic monkey. It was. Oh no! Ignore that. That's just a comment. Sorry. Second born. Why is Paul? What is Paul Fest, and why is it going to be the best event ever? Just covered that.
The answer to both questions is the same. It's a day of getting community people together, throwing dice, having a laugh, and chilling out. All organised by the amazing Crimson.
Oh, I won't go that. Thank you. I won't go that far because I just organise it, and then people just
I just tell it as it is.
Bless them. Duet said they get fed, so I think it's a win-win. No, I just do the arranging, don't I? So
Just make the entire thing happen. Yes.
Sarcastic Monkey, any hints or tips for an aspiring Skyo Warlock engineer? Yeah. Tips to build a fluffy scry army to run off an old metal kit claw.
Ooh, wow. Well, I mean, the sort of Route 1 approach is just to take all the Clan Sky units from the book. So, I mean, I don't know if they still are, but Acolytes used to be a battle line in a Clan Sky army. I'm not quite sure if they still are, but they're a great and hilarious troop, kept running around carrying glass orbs full of toxic gas with a really badly fitting gas mask, desperately hoping they're not going to end up on the wrong side of it. They're very good. Warp-lock Jezzails are great for a bit of backfield range. Putting a warp bullet through Sigmarite is hilarious. Then you've got sort of artillery like warp lightning cannons and other such. I would also have. I'm sure I must be missing a key Clan Skyer unit there. But I would also go for decent sized units of Clan Rats and also Storm Vermin, because the well-to-do Skyer Warlock engineers will be able to afford Storm Vermin. So, Storm Vermin. But also, they'll also be able to have the funds to hire and secure packs of Clan Rats from Clan Verminus or other clans, and they need to use those to deliver all their warp fire cannons, rattling cannons, warp grinders, and all the other Skyer toys to get as many of those in as possible. But they'd see those very much as expendable troops. So that's kind of how I build and play it, I think.
There's another little bit on there as well that says, what do you do when you've got an old collecting box, but a unit in there is not up to the new unit size, i.e. 5 Blood Warriors, but the unit now demands 10?
What I do is I turn to eBay, because you had that with, and I hadn't noticed that exact one. Also, what are they called? There was a Thunderstrike Stormcast box where 3 Retributors was the unit size previously, I think. But now the minimum unit size is 5. But in this box, because they're on preset sprues where everything's all mixed in together, they're only, you get 3. So I turn to eBay to make up the shortfall. That's what I do. eBay, or buy multiples of them, but that can be pricey. And if you don't want the rest of the models, a bit, yeah. Or you could just buy another box of 10 to make up the 5, but then you got 5 spare. What do you do with those 5 spare? You might as well have not had the first 5 first. It's an angry cycle of, especially if you can't find them on eBay. So I sympathize entirely.
Mm-hmm. I can probably ask this one. Sarcastic Monkey says, when are we going to see the Fire Slayers in action? I saw them.
You did. So everyone else is going to see them on the channel when there's in White Dwarf a while ago. There was a campaign, 3 mission campaign between the Fire Slayers and the Nighthaunt, and the my Fire Slayer army has been very kindly painted by March of War, and James March is going to come over and play the Nighthaunt in that scenario. So he'll help me film that, and we'll do a 3-part mini campaign. What I haven't quite decided yet is exactly when it'll land, because I'm kind of struggling with all the toys at the minute, because in the process of filming chapter 2 for the Siege of Excelsis, which is 6 episodes, there's 6 battle reports to do there. I'm loving and getting into Star Wars Legion, got to do some battle reports there. 10th Ed 40k is going to drop, got to do some battle reports there. And my beautiful Fire Slayers have turned up, got to do some battle reports there. So I'm not entirely sure whether I will do one little break, Siege of Excelsis, another little break, Siege of Excelsis, or actually whether I make the breaks a bit larger and space out the Siege of Excelsis chapters a bit more. I don't know. Haven't quite decided yet.
Hill42 says, will the next 40k edition cause you to start a NID army?
Well, again, it depends what you mean by start. I mean, I already have a 500-point Tyrannid army in cellophane on the shelf, not on the shelf, in the storage unit.
Gone. It was gone.
In the storage
that way.
Unit. No, that way.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah. It's on the other side of the railway line.
Massive.
Yeah, but it's a 3-ton cargo container.
I can't even open the door.
It's
So
funny because
pathetic.
it's true.
So pathetic. The door's even like swinging on it. I can't open it. Taking a jump from the step, I can't open it. It's really big.
3-ton. So I have got a Tyrannid army, and there are some gorgeous new Tyrannid models, and I will. Now is a good time to paint Tyrannids, especially as it's Leviathan, and the Leviathan is my favourite scheme. But it's another army to start from scratch, rather than just adding something to an existing army. And I've got, before the end of the Siege of Excelsis, I've got about 1,000 points of Gloomspite to paint, about 5,000 points of Astral Templars to paint, probably about 2,000 points of Daughters of Cain, probably a similar amount of Hedonites of Slanesh, and then probably about 1,500 points of Cities of Sigmar to paint, and a couple of odds and sods in between. So there's a lot it's competing with, and some of it's on a schedule. I don't know. It depends what I do muse-wise, because all this Star Wars Legion stuff, that just came from just opening the box on a whim. Oh, I'm going to see what this looks like inside. Ooh. Then, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Madame Carl, member for 20 months, has used his membership. Hasn't put any commentary in it. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but thank you for being a member for so long. Still no sponsorship, yeah.
It's a little bit difficult to navigate that, you know.
It is.
It sometimes sends it before you've actually put anything in. It's very annoying. So if you wanna stick your comment in there, and we'll just pretend it was attached.
Hi, my dog. Can I do that one? I've just read it.
Yeah.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Don't know if this question has been asked. However, will you be bringing the orcs back in 10th? Your initial orc videos with Winters got me head first back into the hobby. It all depends on how orc army selection works. Well, no, it doesn't all depend on that, really, to be honest. Yes, I'm going to be doing some orcs in 10th. Orcs are a good, fun army to play. You don't need to, hopefully, if they've not broken them too much, they're still a good, fun army to play that you don't need to put a lot of thought into. You can just have a good laugh with. So, yeah, that is definitely part of the plan. And Mad Dog Carl also saying, finally got you live from California.
Woo-hoo!
Wow. Now California is the 5. Now, I want to say
wearing
9.
the cowboy boots.
I want to say 9 hours behind. 9 hours
Just
behind
ask
us.
him, he's there.
Oh yeah. What time is it where you are, Mad Dog?
Mad Dog.
Do you know, when I was at university, the boat, the trawler, was called the Prince Maddog. Useless fact for you there. Okay, we will circle back to that. Do we have anything else from Discord?
We do. Oh, we do.
Oh, it's 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
It means a 10-hour time gap. Wow.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, it is just coming up to 10 p.m. here.
Okay, so would you, Aaron says, Aaron 582, would you ever get a sequel to the Crimson Ribbon, or will we ever get a sim? Yeah.
So
yes, a sequel to the Crimson Ribbon. Yes, I think
there's
so.
2 different answers to that.
Yes or no.
So, if the question is, will we do more 40k Crimson events? Yes. If the question is specifically, will we carry on the plot from the Crimson Ribbon? Maybe.
Yeah, we tend to when we're thinking about sort of the end, things coming to an end, we do kind of think of things like still leaving a bit of a door open, so that if anybody ever said, will we ever see a Crimson Ribbon 2, we can go, if you like, don't you? You tried to do that, don't you? We tried that last time as well. Yeah.
But I also have other ideas in my head.
Yeah, very true. Kev, can you just will you just DM me, and then in Discord, just so see if I can help with that. It's not a problem. I think it'll not be a problem. Just DM me and I'll talk to you after. Because I'm sure we can arrange something, and I'm sure Joe will probably take you under his wing. He's lovely, is Joe. I'm going to adopt him, Joe. But yes, send me a message. Liam is looking good there.
Not quite sure what's going on.
Me either.
Sent here by Liam. How's it going? Okay, so Liam has directed a bunch of people to come over and talk to us.
Is that because he can't be bothered tonight? Is that what it is?
Maybe
Liam's like, I'll tell you what I'll do.
Maybe he's busting for a wee, and
he might be busting for a wee.
Needs 5 minutes.
Or he might need a poo.
Well, quite.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got super chats coming in.
It's a Liam raid. It is. Wow. I don't know what he can be doing. Nice if you tell us.
Okay, well,
Liam, Joe, and Lucy say hi. Hi.
I can't keep up.
Frankly, an improvement on Liam. Oh dear.
Well, super chats from Carl of Hodgie, Stephen Whittam, Zena, Tony Winnick, and Big Bad Peter Gaming again.
We've been raided.
We have.
It's like a ram raid.
I know. Where they turn up and give us money.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, it's just fantastic, that is. Hello to you all.
Ginger Steve uses his member for 32 months. A Liam Dempsey raid is occurring. He has dumped his people upon you and can't believe this membership is so high, you pair of legends.
Oh dear.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, hello. I'm just an arm. Hello.
But a very effective admin arm. It's got a pen,
strong arm,
and there's a laptop next to it.
Yeah, there's a laptop in one hand and a phone in another.
Yeah, I know. It's like multitasking.
I've got it all going on.
Yeah. You put one of your eyes in camera there.
My eye?
Yeah. There was like that much of you visible.
And people do know me.
But, I know, but you were so adamant I didn't point the camera
it's
at
because
you.
I'm not dressed.
You are dressed.
I always remember a game you played against Winters with your iron hands. Could have been a year ago. Stuck with me. Do you have a favourite
marine faction?
Yeah, faction. Yeah, I couldn't see it. The light was on my screen.
Well,
so I moved my laptop.
That game with Winters was quite a while before COVID. So that was probably 2018, that game. So 5 years ago. Do I have a favourite marine faction? Yeah, it's the Blood Angels. Always loved the Blood Angels. They were my first army when I was 15 and shopping with my dad in the Arndale Centre in Manchester, and we stumbled upon a Games Workshop, had a practice game of Second Ed, and never looked back. And I just love ranks and ranks of first-generation Marines, tactical Marines, assault Marines, all just doing what they're supposed to do, but occasionally getting a little bit freaky if anyone got too close and just trying to kill them instead. It's like Devastators running off, clubbing people to death with missile launchers. It was brilliant. So they still have a very special place for me. Oh, wow.
Mr. Games with Winters.
Yeah, props for the Star Wars poster. Well,
yeah.
I mentioned...
You forget it's there, don't you?
Yeah. Well, there's actually about 4 Star Wars posters in the room.
They're everywhere, to be fair.
Actually,
there's some
7.
Really wacky art going on in this house.
There are 7 Star Wars posters in the room and a Nurgling on my second monitor.
Absolutely.
Earlier in the chat, we mentioned the fact that I'm going to be recording my first Star Wars Legion battle report this weekend. So looking forward to that.
Gosh, we've got like loads of Liamettes.
Have you?
I know, yeah. Yeah. Press the thumb. He likes the thumb.
We've never had this many people in the chat before.
Our members are all like that. What the heck is going on now? This was not planned. We had no idea this was going to happen.
No, and we were getting towards wrapping up, weren't we?
We were actually, yeah. That feels a bit rude now.
Well, someone's saying, where's Grogu? He's on a display picture up there.
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Show him the lobsters. Show him the lobster.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to show you the lobster.
Well, I can't exactly remember how it happened, but the lobsters came a bit of a theme on the channel. We got the red lobster.
Put that on your head.
I am the dancing monkey, and I don a lobster on command. There we got a little blue lobster.
Lobster man.
Then another sparkly blue lobster who does not like to balance. Then a green lobster that was knitted by Crimson's fair hand.
I made that. Took me ages. Took me forever because I couldn't find a green one to buy.
And a yellow lobster.
They're the lobsters. So when we get a new channel member, it has to don a lobster. So, but because there's that many of you tonight, let's put them all on. Fantastic. Seriously though, is Liam all right? We sort of, is he okay?
I was putting the lobsters away. That's the thing with our live streams. There are large portions of me not saying anything. Normally because my brain's buffering. Ginger Steve asks, on the Star Wars theme, what did you think of Andor, Paul? Star Wars series, it really impressed me how adult it was with its themes. Yeah, it's Andor is the reason why I cracked open Star Wars Legion and started putting stuff together. It was very, very good. It's the Claw described it to me as grown-up Star Wars. I think it's sort of, to an extent, it's like a live. If you took Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon, and made it like an 18 rather than a 6+, then that's probably the kind of thing you're getting from Andor. It's all that sort of all that grit of how the rebellion began.
Are you reading comments?
I'm trying.
Do you want to take one from our Discord?
Yeah, if we've got one.
We have. Okay, so. Oh, no, we've not. I've come to the end.
I thought we'd come to the end. Yeah.
Come to the end. Sorry about that.
Oh, we're about to be attacked by a furry Wolverine.
And. Pardon? Oh, yeah, the cat. Lemmy.
Brace yourself.
Show him the cat. Come on, Lemmy. Come on, baby.
Lemmy says, I'm not your dancing monkey.
She doesn't. She loves me. Come on, Lemmy. Oh, no. Here she comes.
There you go. You got some legs and a tail and
Ooh.
knocking a can of Coke over.
There we go.
And now you just have the tail.
There she goes.
Yeah. So we've got no questions left on there. You're going to need to throw some questions into the chat, folks. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here with a really confused expression on my face.
It's because normally we've sort of like gone at this point.
We're normally done and wrapped up. And it's like, well, thank you for joining us. And and there's a lot of people here today now.
There are. If anybody's not pressed the thumb, hit the button. Hit the button.
What's your favorite type of bread? Ooh.
Yeah, is it just bread? Bread.
Bread. It's Warburton medium sliced in the blue the blue and white wax paper. But I'm not supposed to have it because of the diabetes. But that is what I like that. I do like that. I also like a nice warm baguette as well. There's no pun there.
Yeah, I'm updating, so I'm going to be no help at all now.
Oh, right. Okay. Your laptop's decided to do an update.
Yeah, do an update right in the middle of it.
What a shit!
I know. If this is going to happen again, we need to have a backup plan.
I think
this could be a thing.
I think the tablet's still here somewhere. Yeah.
I mean for extra people.
Oh, right.
We need to have something to throw in, a bit of entertainment if they ever descend on us again.
Okay. Well, right. So French baguette or ciabatta? French baguette.
Ciabatta.
The ciabatta.
Oh, I thought you said ciabatta.
No. But my pronunciation is getting really dodgy. It's getting quite late.
We did a massive event at the weekend, guys, so we're still
tired. Yeah, our first AOS narrative event at Sanctuary Games called the Crimson Conflux, and it was great. Little known fact against the ciabatta: it was invented in 1983 to be a cultural competition to the French baguette, because the Italians didn't like buying French bread. They wanted to make their own artisanal bread. There you go. Ginger Steve says, Paul, 10th, good as 8th or more of 9th? Opinion. Okay, so based on what has been released on the War community, I am optimistic that they have killed off a lot of the ridiculous stats bloat and started to reset things to a more sensible level. There are some rules that they've talked about that I quite like, some that I am not as keen on. And everything else is a mushy blur in my head that I don't know if I can talk about or not. So I'm not going to. What do we have? What's your favourite Ordo of the Inquisition? And which is your favourite Imperial Assassin? Well, my favourite Ordo of the Inquisition, Hereticus, I think, because I used to love my Witch Hunters army when Witch Hunters was an army. And yeah. I also think Ordo Xenos are a little bit I don't know. They just don't grab me. Ordo Malleus half of them are more demonic than the things they're chasing. Hereticus seems to have the right balance for me. I quite like that. And favorite Imperial Assassin, I used to love the Calidus Assassin because it could turn up with its Neuro Shredder and it used your leadership as the target number and with this teardrop template and like everything died. That was very cool. But the Evasor Assassin, the one that's just cybernetically enhanced and full of drugs that just goes ape as soon as it gets activated. And maybe it lives, maybe it doesn't, but you're not gonna. And if it does die, boom! Yeah. What's your take on the 10th edition faction reveals? Is it less lethal like GW promised? Based on what I've seen so far, yes. I want to play a game where the only measure of success is not whether or not the unit you target gets utterly destroyed. That I like the, you've lost one or two. Does that mean the unit might start to, it is reduced in effectiveness? Does it mean it might fall back? Does it mean it might start suffering some penalties because of its morale not holding? It's one of the things I like about AOS is unless you major on the big stuff, you get a number of long protracted combats where things like that make a difference. And I want to see more of that in 40K. And I think it'll take more than just the snippets of faction reveals to see how that's going to work. You know, if your basic marine has got like 8 attacks, then them leveling the saves and the rules and those things out isn't going to make a huge amount of difference, because weight of dice will just do the same thing. So I think we need to see a more holistic view. A more holistic view. Dominic Benson says, tempted to jump into AOS with Seraphon. Good place to start. Yeah, gorgeous models. There are not many AOS factions that are particularly difficult to pick up in the same way that there are 40k factions that are particularly difficult to pick up. There's a bunch of variety with Seraphon. You can do multiple different army builds. For example, at the Crimson Conflux this last weekend, Matt P took Thunder Lizards, so he had
pink Thunder Lizards.
Yeah, Thunder Lizards. We had Triceratops full of skinks stomping around and carnosaurs, and then a slan floating behind on this massive chair going nom, 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 nom. Or probably more ribbit. But equally, you can do massed cavalry, massed infantry, vicious Saurus warriors, and Carnosaur and Croxagores. Yeah, I love Seraphon. You get no argument from me. Tell us what you think of the new Gene Stealer cult rules. I can't. I haven't read them, I'm afraid. Can I quickly scan them? Oh, 4 armed is forewarned. This must have been tonight. Overview, faction rules, cult ambush, deep strike. Okay. Cult ambush. All right, this looks like a method of recycling units. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they came from below. That looks good. Brood Brothers. Yeah, just a way of tacking on some Militarum unit spotlight. 1 wound, toughness 3, 7. Oh no, leadership 7 plus 5 plus save. Yeah, I mean, from the cursory glance that you've just seen me make, they look okay. Nothing leaps out at ridiculous there, which is good. Stratostarix Super Chat just wanted to say thanks, Paul. Your lockdown narrative battle reports were a real light in the tunnel. Are you excited about skirmish games in general? You are very welcome. I'm glad that people enjoyed the lockdown narrative stuff. It's nice to know it was appreciated. Skirmish games. The only skirmish game I've played quite a bit of is Infinity, and I don't play that anymore. But it's because I like the big units being whittled down and the sort of losing individual troopers and units' effectiveness changing, shrinking, growing, and so on. Whereas games like Infinity sort of bang, models dead, whole units dead. Over time, having played both types more, I lean more towards the larger units. That's it. If you are into skirmish games, go check out Fast Panda Gaming on YouTube. They do amazing Infinity content on the best tables that are on the YouTubes, in my opinion. Have you been keeping up with the 10th Ed faction rules? I've skimmed them. I've skimmed them. I haven't kept up with them all because I've had a lot of other stuff on, but I think I will pay more attention when we get the whole indices come out. So, Hi Paul, what is your next narrative game? Can you give us a small preview? Actually, I'm in the situation where I need to book a lot of the next coming stuff. So the next narrative game I am scheduled to film is in about 6 weeks. There are going to be others I'm going to be doing, but this particular one had to be scheduled on a particular date, and it's one of the few that I've got in the diary at the minute because there's a bunch of solo hammer I've got to do. And it's an episode. It's an AOS game. It's an episode from the Siege of Excelsis, and it's one of the scenarios in the Kragnos campaign book, where the Skaven have risen up in the city of Excelsis and are putting it to the flame. And it's called the Charge of the Knights Excelsior, and the Dracoline cavalry of the Knights Excelsior charge out of the Stormkeep through the Glimmer Stretch, which is the main thoroughfare in Excelsis, and try and take out the Skaven Norhalls. And I've been all my stuff's painted for that now, but my opponent in Morton Joe, I know, is frantically building and painting Dracoliths at the moment, so that's going to be an amazing game. Very much looking forward to that. In terms of 40k narrative games, there are not yesterday, but next Monday. One of the campaigns I did during lockdown was a campaign called The Soul of Nexus 2, which was about the Sisters of Battle and the Word Bearers fighting over this planet called Nexus 2. And for one reason or another, mostly my brain being what it is, I never quite managed to finish it. And over Easter, it was Solo Hammer, and I found Solo Hammer quite difficult 40k ever since. James March from March of War came down to help me play the last 2 episodes, which the first of which is going to be on Monday, and that's where the Sisters of Battle find out where the Word Bearers are performing their dark ritual to try and despoil the planet, and they assault the Dark Chapel that the ritual is happening in. That's the first part of the finale. The second part of the finale is when they get into the chapel and see what's happened inside it. That was a lot of fun to film, and that's going to be on the channel over the next couple of weeks. Blue Demon Brushworks super chats, cough, Paulfest, cough. So I'll fill in the gaps for Blue Demon Brushworks. So we have an event on the 16th of September for channel members called Paulfest. The amazing Crimson is arranging the event, and in fact, I'll let her tell you all about it.
Losing my voice. Yes, so it is a group of community members getting together to have a game, have a laugh, and there's some interesting things going on. Sarcastic, no, Secondborn's got some things going on as well with something that they've been working on for a long time. A Tale of Paul Gamers, is that right? Yeah, so there's something going on with that as well. And it's just a chance for everybody to get together at tabletop events and just throw some dice, and in an organised, semi-organised, but organised way. So everybody will get a game, and we know what everybody wants to play, so we're arranging that so that everybody's got a partner, and it's going to be fun.
It's pretty cash, isn't it?
It's very cash. It's cash but organised, because it has to be, because you've got to have the tables. So yeah. So it's a bit of a joint effort. I'm in the lead at the minute, but I've got a couple of helpers who are going to be fantastic. So yeah.
So anyone interested in that, the details are in the Discord. And then Ginger Steve, compared to the last rules, they are readable, which is a win. I assume that's harking back to Do You Steal the Cult rules, which is good.
16th of September. Sorry.
16th of September.
I just realised I didn't say when.
So, Mr. Lovely Pants says, "Hey, Paul, I love you. You have an incredible beard. Are you single? Any tips for beard growth?" Well, tips for beard growth. Yes, you've got to spend a good 3 to 4 hours a day really concentrating on the beard growth. You've got to sit perfectly still and focus and just push the hair out. And it grows. Yes, it does. And I wash it in Head and Shoulders every day. There you go. They're the two things. My 2 tips. Apparently, I'm lying. Anyway, and on that note, I think we will go to the thank yous.
Oh, there's so many. So if I do miss anybody, I do apologise because my laptop's just died as well. So, super chats. We have got thank yous to Blue Demon Brushworks, Big Bad Peter, Zena. I hope I'm saying that right. Carl of Hodgie. I hope I'm saying that right as well. Stephen Witham, Mr. Sven Holio. That's a good name. And Tony Winnick. I'm sure there's more, but thank you very much for your super chats and your membership chats. I've definitely not got all these, but Big Bad Peter Gaming, 15 months. Also gifted a membership to Christian McBride. Fantastic. Thank you for that. Big Bad Peter. Mad Dog Call, 20 months. Used his 20 months. Matt P, 31 months. That's brilliant. Love you, Matt P. Scott Hildrick, 31 months. And we had a Ginger Steve who just sounds amazing. Who just sounds wild. So thank you to all you Liamettes that descended and basically just spun us into oblivion.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought there was something wrong with my laptop. I was like, what? What's it doing now? But no, it was really good. And we're hoping that Liam's okay. Very rarely does he do that. So he must have either got a hot date or he needed a poo. That's what I think.
And on that bombshell, big thank you to Crimson for all the amazing adminning. Thank you to everyone who's super chatted again and everyone who has joined. Before I forget, though, there will not be a stream next week because I have a work thing and will be far too brain worked to do the YouTube work thing.
Yeah.
And before my English disintegrates any further, take care, everybody, and we will.
Don't forget Paul Fest, 16th of
September this year.
And don't forget to send me any ideas for Christmas.
Take care, folks. See you in the next one. Say bye, Crimson.
Bye, Crimson.
Bye.